Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been forever and a day since I've done a hair video. This one should be pretty brief. I'm just doing the intro right now because I don't like coming on camera with my hair looking like a Brillo pad. Like, just, it looks matted, but it's definitely not, and that's just not cute. So I wanted to show you guys that I finally perfected my wash and go many years later. I think the last wash and go I did was when I was still living in New York. Or I could have been in DC, and yeah, it just wasn't as defined as I wanted it to be. So I went through this phase of absolutely loving my hair the way it was, and then I kind of got out of it and was like, I wish it didn't look so short, even though I know it's not. So my hair, I don't want to play in it too much. My hair, when straightened, is pretty much bra strap length. I think it's right at the top of my bra strap, and when it's you know, in its natural state, it can look like this. After washing it, it looks much shorter than this actually, but I use two products for this. The Cantu moisturizing curl activator cream. I just call it curl activator cream, and I think there's another one that comes in a jar. I always buy this one in the bottle. Maybe they do the same thing, I'm not sure, but this is a medium consistency. I think it's kind of thick, not watery at all, and not thin, definitely not thin. And then I use the Eco Style. Yeah, it's Eco Style. I think I always refer to it as Eco Styler, but it's definitely Eco Style. So it'll be damp, or I'll spritz it with water, go in with this and rake through, and then I go in with this by sometimes raking, not all the time, mostly smoothing it through and then shingling. And it takes me about an hour to get my hair to look like what you'll see it looks like. But once it's dry, which for the most part it's dry, my roots are still pretty damp. My roots can take like 2 full days to dry, but I purposely was outside walking around, which is why you may see me sweating. I've been outside trying to get it to air dry, and then I think before I go to bed, I may go in it with not the diffuser, the concentrator nozzle, and just spray that around my head. The diffuser doesn't do much for me. I don't have to have that. So I'll probably go into my roots and get it to be fully dry, but here it is. Each coil is defined. I have more so have waves in the front for some reason. Like, they look like crinkles. The end kind of curls a little bit, but for the most part it's like crinkly in the front, and then I have actual coils in the back, and I feel like everyone is defined. I'm obsessed with these products, especially when I put them together, and I'm obsessed with the results, and I usually get a lot of compliments on it. I've only done this once, but everybody that saw me, especially people that know me, obsessed with my hair as much as I am. So stay tuned for how I do this. I'm starting on freshly washed and deep conditioned hair. I hear people say that deep conditioning is like really important when you're doing a wash and go. I haven't always done it, but lately I've been doing it. I'll just be using what is it, a spray bottle with warm water in it. I feel like that helps the product get into my strands a little bit better. I'll be following up with Cantu Curl Activator. It just says moisturizing curl activator cream. I kind of swear by this. I know people are over Cantu, but they've been a staple since they first hit the scene, since I was first natural many years ago. I always find myself gravitating back to this brand because it works for me. I've had this bottle for a couple years, I think, because I don't do wash and goes that often. As I will have said in the intro to this, it's been years since I've done one. So yeah. And then the third product is my Eco Styler. Now, this is the argan oil. I got this from my sister. This is what she had, but she's given me one of these argan oil ones before, and as far as I know, it's great. I've had the olive oil one. I don't know, it's just something about this one. This one really works for my hair, so let's get into it. I'm gonna show you guys the first and probably last section. Nobody wants to see me do my whole head. Whew. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's like really defined on the ends already. I just used my Felicia Leatherwood brush to brush the deep conditioner in, and then I put a plastic bag over my head because that's all that fits on this head, and let that sit for like a half hour, a little longer than that. And yeah, So this is what it looks like after I rinse it out. Let's get started. Wow, I know I look crazy. I know it. Okay. Now for the back section, I don't usually need to wet it. My hair is still very much damp, but for video purposes, let's go ahead and have it soaking wet. This is how much cream I'll be using. I don't have a set amount. It's just whatever I squeeze out and think is okay. Open up. So this happened the last time. The whole top comes off instead of this flap. Let's see if I can get this open. If not, okay, got it open. And this looks like a little bit, but I think for this section, this is a pretty generous amount of product. And I get it all over, starting at the roots, and I just slide it down. Yeah, this is drenched. Then I'm gonna get a little bit more because I feel that it's not on my ends and my ends are dry. So just a finger. And then I just start shingling, I guess. Wherever my hair feels like it wants to separate, even if it's a little piece like this, I just go ahead and let it. This usually takes me, I'll say a little over an hour. I only did this one time, which was a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I think once I got to the last section, it had been about 45 minutes already. So we'll see. And I just keep smoothing the product down the coils. Now I have more than enough product on my hand, but some pieces are looking a little frizzy, so I'm just going over them. I don't spend this much time on every single section. And then I'm constantly wiping the products off my hands because that just feels gross to me. To start a new freshly clean section and then have that leftover product. So can two. So I finger detangle, even though my hair is 100% detangled already, I finger detangle as I put the Cantu through. And then I go ahead and smooth the Eco Styler in. Let me know if you use Eco Styler still. I know there was a lot of controversy. This isn't, I guess this is a but. It's like one of the only things that works for me. I've tried plenty of different gels. But I see people raving about that Oribe curl jelly. So, anybody tried that? I know it's like $44 a bottle though. A mistake that I used to make, I wouldn't get enough gel in my roots because I was being stingy with it. Like I wanted to conserve my product, but these little tubs are only $3 and something, so whatever. Like I feel like me getting it at the roots is what's really defining my curls. Or coils or kinks, whatever you call them. Some of my coils are pretty thick, so I just go ahead and separate it. Even though they look good like that, I want to look like I have more volume. And I know to do this now because I've already done it once and I know how it came out. Like after a couple days it gets more volume in the roots, but initially it's just very divine coils like hanging all over my head, which I don't mind. But if I can avoid it, I will. I'm like the only one. I have water dripping down my face. I feel like when other people do their hair, even when they do their hair in the shower and you look at the videos, how is no water or shampoo getting in their eyes? All right, next section. So here's what it's looking like. I'm just gonna do that all over. Okay guys, I'm finally about to start on the front section. As you can see, this side is a little shorter than this side because this has dried more. I just finished this section. One thing I have noticed is that my ends in certain places are a little rough, so I'm due for a trim, I believe. Last year at some point I dyed the tips of my hair, so I just put my hair into I think like 4 little ponytails and just put a reddish dye at the end of it, but now it looks more like an auburn orange. I think so. So yeah, and the way I knew that I could probably get away with the wash and go was a couple weeks ago I had my friend trim my hair before she had did a braided style in it, which was really nice. I never showed anyone though, so unless you saw me in person you didn't see it. But once I washed my hair after taking out that style, I realized that my ends were super defined and like juicy curls. So that trim that she gave me clearly, you know, got off some dead ends, and I was like, it would be cute if I did a wash and go. And that's when I set off to try and do one. So my ends are pretty dry. My roots damp. It would take me like, especially in this weather, 2 days for my hair to dry like this. So I'm purposely going out today. I'm going to LA tomorrow. I'm going out today to go get my nails and feet done. And that like gives me reason to be outside and letting the wind, what little wind we have here, blow through my scalp, because yeah, my hair is going to be wet. And I may actually go through it with a diffuser later because I don't really want to go to sleep on a wet scalp. Oh, and I like to have my hair in my face. It'll dry pretty, no, it won't dry pretty long. It'll look pretty long and like it needs to be trimmed or too long to have in my face once I'm done. But as it dries, it's obviously gonna like, it's gonna sit. Also, my hair in the front is more, it's more wavy than anything. I don't have actual coils up here, and they're definitely not as tight as in the back. So you will see that it's looking a lot looser. I thought maybe, I've always thought, okay, maybe, well, that's when my hair is more sensitive, which it probably is, and maybe it's heat damage from blow drying and stuff, but I think that's just my curl pattern. It's just way looser in the front than it is in the back. And while I would love perfectly uniformed coils, especially like those in the back, like these are perfect to me. But waves are cool. also say that when it's time to wash this out or wash my hair, it is so detangled. Like once it comes time for me to, I shampoo it and you just feel the coils, each individual coil in your hand, and then I put my conditioner in and I use my detangling brush, and you know, no hair is really coming out. There are no tangles really, if any at all. But I pretty much know how to manipulate and maneuver my hair so I don't get too many tangles anyway. But yeah, I just figured I'd point that out. All right, so this is it. And over time, I probably already mentioned this as well, but when I feel like, you know, some curls can separate, I just go ahead and separate them. Kind of starting from the ends, because I don't want the ends frizzy. I don't care if anything else gets frizzy, but the ends, I love how defined they stay. So this is it. And in the intro, you will see that my hair is dry, at least for the most part, and how much this shrinks up. And if it doesn't shrink up enough during the first day, I just put a bobby pin and lift my bangs a little bit. But yeah. See ya.